So from here in the very centre of Australia, step aboard and we'll go for a drive and check out these road train operations and more.
Outback Queensland is where this story starts, a region almost totally dependent on road transport for survival. The efficiencies of road train operation keep improving by the year. This Mack is hauling 6 trailers from Cannington Mine to the railhead near Cloncurry. This gives an idea of the size these giants have reached. While mining is a major income export earner, Outback Australia is still cattle country. And it's Bronco branding time in Western Queensland. The Australian Championships are being held in Longreach, next to the Stockman's Hall of Fame. And where there is cattle work, transport is never far away. Bronco branding is an all-Australian sport, showing off the skills of stock men and women, and a living piece of history showing how it was done in the past. A calf is caught by rope by the catcher, who rides the Bronco horse. The calf is then hauled up to the Bronco panel, and the skilled ground crew move into action. Leg ropes on, the calf is pulled to the ground and held, and branded with white paint. In real life, the calves would be branded with a red-hot fire brand. Bronco teams from 4 states vie for the championship. But what do visitors to the Outback think?
Same as football, Bronco branding out here, football in the cities, you know, life-saving on the coast. They're all part of the Australian culture.
Oh, I haven't seen anything like it before. I reckon it's great.
I've just come along to support my husband.
You mind having a go at it yourself?
Something you can sit and watch all day.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah. Compared to camp drafting's boring after a while. Even if you're a drafter, it's boring. This is good.
In 2 days, the dust settles. The Cup goes to South Australia this year, and the festivities are over. Stock workers and truck drivers, station owners and transport operators all return to their everyday work. Where big teams of stock workers handle the work on large company places, more marginal outback properties are very much a family affair, like at the Northern Territory's Corundy station. Peter and Brenda Saint are not your typical road train operators. They own a cattle station in a remote region of Central Australia. As transport was one of the major costs, they invested in a road train and have lifted the profitability of Corundy station. The main market for these cattle is 2,000 kilometres away. And Peter Saint drives his cattle there with his big Mack Titan.
Currently run about 9,000 head of cattle here. We run about 5,000 breeders. Progressively trying to, predominantly we're all Hereford, Pole Hereford. 30% of it would be done in interstation carting, but we've got nearly 600 k's of road network on the place. And all of our weaners, cows, whichever paddocks driest or whether we've got to shift them, it's all done with a truck. And the other 70%, roughly 70%, is predominantly done through to Adelaide. We bill ourselves for carting our own stock. We treat it as a totally separate business, as if we got Tanami or RTA or another carrier in. You know, we treat it totally as a business. We charge ourselves, it comes out of our account sales. All the running expenses of the truck, trailers and so forth come out of a totally separate bank account, and always at the end of the 12 months in retrospective of getting another carrier in, we charge the same rate as what another carrier would charge, and in that bank account has always got more money in it than what it started off at the beginning of the season, so obviously it does pay.
The big Mack pulls 3 trailers, each a double-decker, so in one lift the outfit shifts 6 decks of cattle. When it's time to work the cattle, the whole family chips in. It's hot in the cattle yards, stinking hot, and dusty. The parched land still waits for the first storms of the season, but work still needs to be done. The family draft the cattle, separating calves from their complaining mothers. The calves are then earmarked and branded. Male calves are castrated. Then the heifers need to be separated from the bulls, a job for the big Mack Titan. just driving across Corundy Station is the distance from farm to market in more settled areas. The big truck follows tracks usually thought to be the domain of four-wheel drivers. The young cows are jumped off at yards adjacent to their new home, far from the roving eyes of amorous bulls. And the big road train has an easy day. Tomorrow it'll be heading off on the 2,000 kilometres run to Jepp's Cross Sale Yards in Adelaide.